Hey, this is Corey from Wolfpack Woodcraft, and I just got back from a whole week out in the woods, and I just want to share with you some of the gear I used, and just share my experience with you. So stay tuned. Alright, so I spent a whole week out on my uncle's private land, and it was a ton of fun. It was 4th of July weekend, and so the first part of the weekend I spent with family, and we all got together, and it was a ton of fun. But then they all left after the 4th, and I stayed back so that I could get some videos done and do some gear reviews and stuff. And it didn't quite go as planned, but it still was a ton of fun. My audio on my microphones, I don't know what it is about the outdoors, but they just don't like it. So I bought new rechargeable batteries, so hopefully that'll make a difference. Plus I have another shotgun mic that I ordered, and it should be here this week. And so hopefully between the new batteries, my lavalier mic will work better. And if not, I have this new shotgun mic on the way, and we'll see how that works. But for some reason, this whole trip, the batteries kept dying in my microphone, either in my microphone because I have a wireless setup, so my microphone batteries would die, or my receiver batteries would die. And so I would make a whole video, and the first like quarter to half of it would have audio, and then it would just cut out because the battery would die. And it was extremely frustrating, but I pushed through. I made a couple of videos, but I just want to share with you what I carried with me, because my most used item, I brought other knives with me to review, but once my audio was giving me issues, I used the LT Wright Genesis the whole trip. Now you guys see this in every video. It's by far my favorite knife ever. This is the Larry Roberts Signature Edition. It's A2 tool steel. It's just an awesome knife. I use it all the time. I love it. It's by far my favorite knife that I own. The other most used tool was my Woodcraft axe. Now, they had a splitting axe there when everybody was there, but then once they left and they took their gear with them, I took this out, and I was cutting some pretty huge logs with this thing. I was putting this thing above and beyond what it should have been doing, and it held up. It really did the work. The pieces that I were cutting were huge, and this thing I just take out little chunks at a time, and it did the work. It stayed sharp, and I'm really impressed with this axe. I'm really glad I got it. I'm really happy. The paracord overstrike, though, paracord stretches, and so it stretched, so I had to retighten everything. So that's why there's this little tab here now, because it stretched that much, and so I had to retighten it. But that held up really well. Everything held up really well. I was really impressed by this axe. And then the other thing is, once night fell, I got a great picture of my son. If you watched my earlier video on camping with kids, not the one with my son in it, but the one that I did, I tell you how to use those glow sticks to help keep track of your kids so that they don't get lost in the dark. And so he had his glow stick on, and the fire was reflecting, and it was a great picture. I'm very excited that I got to share that moment with everybody. If you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you've already seen it. But now I get to share it with the wonderful world of YouTube, and it was just a great time. And then with nightfall, the most used item is my little through night T10. Now this is just a little light. I brought my big flashlights that I was going to use at night, But just having this in my pocket, you know, it's just the ease of use, and it lit up what needed to be lit up, and it was just already in my pocket at all times, and so there was really nothing changed, and yet I used it all the time, every night. I went Saturday to Saturday, and so 7 days, every single night I'd use this little light just to light up where I'm walking, or if I was working on something, I'd light it up. Or this came in very, very handy. I'm really glad that I had my little through night T10 flashlight. And then the thing that I used the least out of everything, the one piece of gear that I thought I was going to use constantly, but I didn't use hardly at all, was my cell phone. Now, my cell phone is how I keep up with Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, and I thought that I was going to be on it, especially Sunday and Thursday when I had new videos so that I could comment. But I didn't have any cell reception. I couldn't do much of anything. It was pretty worthless most of the trip. You know, sometimes I'd take a trip to the river, and at the river I could get a signal, but around camp and on my uncle's land, you know, I couldn't get anything, nothing. And so and it really made me realize how much we put faith in our cell phone. And I'm just glad that I had the ability to do things without having to Google it, or without having to GPS it, or having any of those other things that people use their cell phone for. I didn't have when I was out in the woods, you know. Like if I would have got lost, I would have had to rely on my map and compass. The cell phone would have done me no good whatsoever. So it's always a good idea to have your cell phone as a backup. Don't count it as a primary device. Always make it a backup or a convenience item, not a primary item. And so that's the gear that I used on this trip the most. My knife, my axe, you know, getting small fires going so that I could cook and do other things. My little flashlight I used every single night. Every night I used this little thing. And so that's the gear on the trip. The trip went extremely well. I was out there for one whole week. I got sunburnt. My shoulders are peeling really bad. You'll see in some of the videos coming out, I usually always wear pants. But it was almost 100 degrees some days, and so I did have shorts. And you'll see the white legs and you'll know that I usually always wear pants. And the reason that I usually always wear pants is because of the mosquitoes and the ticks. Like, it's one of the best ways to keep them off of you. And so I try to always wear pants just to keep the ticks and the mosquitoes out. Even I did get a tick bite, but I treated it right away and everything worked out really well. The mosquitoes attacked, but you know, that's part of it. You know, you got to take the good with the bad. And the bugs, they're not the most pleasant to deal with, but everything else about it was just beautiful. And I set up 3 different shelters. I had my big family tent, my slumberjack. I had my hammock set up, and I had the new tent, my 2-person tent. And I'll pan through, and so there was that. And then my mom was there. She had her big camper parked right next to my big tent. And all 3 of them, there was rainstorms, like severe thunderstorms. The one night was just a heavy thunderstorm. And all 3 shelter setups performed beautifully. Like nothing got wet. Everything worked just the way it was supposed to. And I couldn't be happier with the setups that I have. I'm really excited. I have a big family tent that's tried and true. I have a small 2-person tent that is doing very well. There's only one flaw in that tent, and you'll have to stay tuned for that. And then my hammock, I brought my Jacks Are Better tarp, my lightweight, it's like a little over a pound setup, where my AquaQuest has a lot more coverage, but it weighs like 5 pounds, a little over 5 pounds. And so I brought my lightweight tarp set up, and it performed very well. I was very happy with that. I was very happy with my tents. I was very happy with my knife. I was very happy with my axe, my flashlight. It's a great trip. I plan to go out again here real soon, just for an overnighter. Not to my uncle's land, to a campsite. And I'll set up and I'll do some more videos. And I bought a new mic, and so hopefully the mic issue will be solved. And I just want to thank everybody for all the support and all of the kind words that have been shared. Every single video I get, there's so many people that just respond on every video, and I appreciate that so much. And you guys are always so kind and so helpful, and I just really appreciate you. I got 280 subscribers, and I truly appreciate every single one of you. So with that being said, make sure to leave your knowledge and your questions in that comment section. I want to know what your most used piece of kit when you go camping is. What do you carry on you that you use the most out of everything else that you take camping with you? Also, make sure to like and share this video so that we spread that knowledge to the people we care about most. And as always, don't forget to subscribe and come join the pack. I have a new video every Sunday and Thursday, and I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Thanks, guys.